So where we left off last time, with Carl sneezing all over the place.
Carl is allergic to exposition.
Yes. It's not a bad thing to be
But I
allergic
bought the
to.
stripper pole.
Yeah.
He makes a terrible supervillain.
Yeah. Starts hacking up any monologues. So, at the last session, I had presented that you guys had sort of 3 tracks to work on. One of them was to go and see the High Wizard Pelak, who you had assisted at a distance, and speak with him. And Scott had some details, sort of some story threads connected up to that, and some obligations. Another one was to look into the documents that had been in the possession of the pirate who had attacked Lady Naisune. You checked that and discovered that the pirate had been sent to steal some things by order of essentially the Crowsworn pirate on behest of Leviathan, and you had gotten a location where that pirate was supposed to deliver the goods to, so that was a place that you could have gone to, but also a fallback place in the Unconquered Port, which we'll come back to in a second. The third thing that you had sort of on your list of things was the packet of information that Lady Naisune had originally wanted, which is about an expedition that had been sent out searching for something called the Torrent Stall, or dealing with something called the Torrent Stall. And she believed that it was significant, possibly connected to the damage that had occurred to the Titan and all of those things. And in the packet, when you opened it up, you found that, in fact, one of the survivors, possibly the only survivor, you're uncertain right now, a guy named Sigon McGrail, was in fact also in the Unconquered Port, and that he is being held at the Towers of Zaboku, which is a sort of for-hire prison in the Unconquered Port under the auspices of the Templars of Tect. And it was at that point that Tomaso realized that he had in fact been there before. He had been in the dungeons and the tender ministrations of this rival Templar order to his own group of Hospitallars. So you traveled to the Unconquered Port and selected that as essentially your mission of the 3 that were on the table. You traveled. It did cost you quite a bit. You also distributed the magic items that you had gotten from the murderizing you had done, and arrived here, took a look around. I believe that Fabian used his contacts with the sewer rat icon to arrange a decent place, well, not a decent, but a place for
A
you
flop
to stay.
house.
A flop house, complete with singing, dancing bed bugs, all of that jazz. You guys have almost no money left to your name. You spent it on taking care of things and arranging essentially your food and provisions for the travel. Last time you checked on a few other things, and you found the Templars of Tect are led by a sort of head Templar by the name of Chitelish Marl. I believe that's the name, right?
Yep.
And she is kind of a feared figure here. But more importantly, 2 things happened. One is that Tommaso was definitely spotted by some of these Templars while in town, but managed to make an escape. But when our master druid, in his scouting form, decided to check out the towers, saw that essentially there are 3 towers to the Towers of Zaboku with walls sort of connecting them. That one of the towers is sort of the dedicated priest houses and lodgings and barracks for the order. Another one seems to be essentially the standard storage and cookery and all of those kinds of things. And the third tower is the prisoner's tower. And Merrick was able to make 2 determinations. One is that there are 2 possibilities for entering. One would certainly involve an exposed, dangerous climb, but the other one is essentially through the waterways and cisterns, and I believe Merrick was able to find actually quite a good set of pathways to make through to get in from essentially below. Risky, dangerous, and will require the proper equipment, but in fact you retained some of the proper equipment last session. More importantly, when Merrick went to check out the tower and see what he could spot, while he wasn't able to make an absolute determination on where Seagon is being kept, he received certainly a deep sense of something unnatural and not right in the tower. Some force or some magics or some darkness at work there that raised the hackles and the hairs on the back of his half-wolf, half-man neck. And that's where we take up this session then. Did I leave anything out?
That's what I had in my notes.
So let's start with any questions or follow-ups or things like that. Fabian, you did the scouting last time, so let me start with you if you have any questions.
One of the things that I had noticed when I was scouting out this area was the fact that it was surprisingly unpopular. The prison area, and well, maybe others, maybe that's part of this question,
You certainly
was
saw
surprisingly unpopulated.
less movement than you would have expected for a prison and the repute and stuff that it has.
Well, as I think back, as I'm relaying it to these fine gentlemen here, when I think back, do I notice signs of recent habitation, that this has been like this depopulation, if you would, has been a recent event, or
That's a good question. Why don't you make an intelligence check for me?
Oh, I would just love to make an intelligence check.
Oh, good.
That's what he's offering you, so that works out.
We're
Yes,
all on the sound.
there is no source. Roll d20 plus -1.
-1 even with your level bonus?
Oh, no, but I rolled a 1.
Okay. You don't even remember, to make
We're
any kind
drinking.
of determination on that. You're like,
But there were mighty fine mouse holes there.
Yeah. So a 1, I'm going to note that down for later to work against you.
Oh, God.
What? You dick?
Yes. I screwed up remembering.
Here's a hero point.
Lowell has a funny definition of failing upward.
Yes. Failing upward for me, Carl. Question.
Worked for me. It's all fine.
Okay. My notes said there was a hospital in one of the towers, and you
Yes.
said storage, admin. So which one is that? Is that in the admin priest housing?
So the hospital is actually probably attached to the sort of the cookery sort of area of things.
Storage, cookery?
Storage cookery.
Okay, now, this guy that we're looking for, there was something about he might be in the hospital.
Apparently, the information you got is that he had come here because you're not sure why, but then he had taken ill and he had been taken to the hospital. But then the other information that you got was that I believe that you talked to somebody who had worked in the hospital last time. That Seagon was not in the hospital any longer, but in fact was in the prison tower.
Okay, so the route we have through the sewers, that will most likely bring us to closer to one of these towers, or is there a particular, or is it kind of a network that we could choose any one? Do we know?
You don't know that. You know that you can get to the system underneath. How that's going to relate to getting up to one of the individual towers, you're not certain about yet until you get in there underneath.
Okay.
Does that seem reasonable?
No, that's fine. And
Okay.
then crawling up the wall is going to get us to which tower?
Crawling up the wall is going to get you to essentially closest to the sort of priests and Templars tower.
Which is scary, and none of us have climbing skills, essentially.
Well, Scott is quite good
I
at
can
that.
climb.
I'd be fine.
Okay.
And
No, you should fly up.
yeah, but at least two of you would have a significant problem with that, or at least it presents additional difficulties. Scott, what about you? Questions?
Okay, so
Questions or preparations?
the cliffway was one way in. What did the sewers?
That's it. Those are the
where,
two.
where would the sewers end up?
I think, as I just said, you won't
I know
know.
that's right.
Yep.
For preparations for that, I mean, we know he's not in the hospital anymore.
Correct.
In his observations, I mean, it was less populated than he thought, but he definitely did still see some Templars and priests roaming around the.
You know, now that he's thinking back about it, he can't remember whether they were dressed like priests or Templars.
They were manlings.
Okay. So I'm going to go for the
So
sewer.
that pays off the one right there, okay?
I'm going to go for some the sewer entrance. We've got a couple people that have the rings.
Of power. Runging.
Do we have any interest, Scott? Do we have any interest in doing both? You know, having some people go one way, some people go another, or is don't split up?
See, no split up.
That's fine.
I mean, that would make Lowell happy. We can't do that. So I will basically make preparations for the sewer.
Okay.
The sewer thing. Get. You know, we've got some people, but get some. You know, appropriate clothing for underwater. Being a.
So you want to steal appropriate clothing for underwater?
Yes, since
you have no
we're
money.
broke.
Wait.
Yes.
First of all, what's appropriate clothing for underwater?
I'm assuming that probably tight-fitting clothing that won't get snagged on. Anything warm.
Warm?
Well-
It's all going to be cloth. There's no scuba gear.
If I may interrupt,
Rhino fat.
one of the things that these rings give you is the ability to be able to move around, to not have to deal with the cold and temperature and pressure and all of that of dealing with the water. We've got 2 of the rings, so it is potentially possible that we could just ferry,
Yes.
keep one and ferry the one ring back and forth to get everybody through without these complications. Now, we've had enough time. I will experiment with the ring. If I use the ring in human form, do my clothes get wet when I get out of the water?
Gosh, yes.
Or
You're
does it?
soaking wet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Scott, let me
At
come
least
back to you now that you have that information.
sorry.
So the clothes still get wet.
Oh, yes. So you could, for example, if you wanted to, get a bundle wrapped, in like a wineskin or something like that of additional clothing that's dry, so that you could take through, so that you're not, creating a squelching wet mess when you go through.
All right, that sounds like a reasonable thing to do.
Okay. Well, why don't you? Let's see. What do you want to use for your thieving role here? What do you think is appropriate? Do you think it's intelligence? Do you think it's dexterity?
I would say that yes, it'd be a combination of probably first charisma to find out in the town, talk to people and find out where I might find a shop or something that would have such gear.
Well, I don't want to make you make 2 rolls.
streetwise.
So we'll take your charisma as a
the,
given.
the thievery itself would probably be dex, because I'll actually be sneaking into the place.
So we'll take your being able to spot the things as a given. So what do you want to use for your actual sort of sleight of hand skills here, sir?
Dex.
Dex plus what's your background that is refers to your pickpocketing or larceny?
The wait, hold on, let me pull up. Thief.
Okay. Why don't you make that roll for me, Scott? I mean, just don't roll a 1. It will be good.
Why do you say things like?
Because
Why?
it's too much fun.
So let's see. So the skills is what I picked. Yeah, so I get +4. So +13.
Look at that.
20.
So
Oh.
you will return back with a skin that you can tuck these in, and enough so that you guys will not suffer any kind of penalties for stealthing and moving around after you go through the water. Tomaso.
I have a question. Is this sewer? Is this like stormwater or like waste?
It is probably more waste than it is stormwater.
Okay, in that case, could I use like my ritual magic skill to do a ceremony with my heal spell to like protect the guys from the disease and funk that's in the water?
Yeah, that seems like a reasonable thing. Why don't you make that roll for me? That'll be wisdom plus what your appropriate background.
All right. So for background, I guess we'll go with the hospitaler and hospitalar.
Yep.
Gotta learn how to pronounce that word.
I
if
know.
I'm
I
gonna
always
be
say
one.
hospitaler, but
It's like
I know
grenadier,
that's the worst.
hospital. Yeah.
All right. So that I have
Hospitality
5
specialist.
in, and wisdom I have a 4. And we got a level to that too.
You always add your level to the background check stuff.
All right.
Oh yeah. In fact, Matt, as you were kind of checking on that and asking around, you will cross paths with a plague bell ringer, a specialist in checking the sewers and watching for the plague. You'll see he has likewise pustules like yourself, and you can see that he bears the mark of the sturgeon penitent. And he will give you greetings as you are kind of checking out the thing, and he will speak with you for a time on such things. And he will kind of get the sense that you guys are going into the sewers and that you are on holy business. He will say, You do the work of the surgeon?
I do.
Some time ago, I had the opportunity to minister to the passing of another more active agent of the surgeon penitent who passed away here. And since that time, I have gifted out some of the goods and things that he had on him, passed them on to worthies. Perhaps I could give you something of that. I have one last gift of his that I could pass on, if you would be willing to take it.
Any help you could offer would be greatly appreciated, brother. My comrades and I are here to lance a boil.
Ah, well spoken, well spoken. We'll say, listen, I have, in my travels, when I have to go through the sewers to deal with that, I do have a set of poultices that I use to protect, and he will hand you those so that you guys will be fully protected from anything bad in the sewers, and from any kind of infectious or gunky stuff. You can apply that. So we'll kind of hand wave that. But more importantly, he will hand you a folded cloak, and he will tell you that this is a cloak of shelter.
Ooh.
And I will tell you what it does. It's a magic item. You can choose a nearby ally, and they get to use one of your defenses, AC, MD, or PD, when they're targeted by an enemy attack.
Wow.
The choice to substitute your defense for theirs must be made before the attack. However, if the attack is made and the person still hits, then you don't expend the use of the cloak.
Is it once per battle or day?
It's recharge on a 6+.
Once per battle recharge or what?
So usually with recharge things, it's post-battle. You check the recharge on things. So.
Oh, so it's once per battle.
Yeah,
That,
well,
that you
it's
automatically get to use it, and then a recharge.
Yep, exactly. You get a recharge check after the battle.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Is that okay, Matt?
That's good. So I will give give the guy the I guess the greeting, probably like a big, warm, gross hug between two disgusting, diseased fellas.
Oh,
Oh,
Thank him, for the
the
gifts,
images.
and ask him to let me know if there's any way I can be of service to you on your missions while I'm here.
I will keep that in mind, brother. But we all do the work of the surgeon penitent. Know that the surgeon has said that the healing of the Titan is the greatest work that we can look to these days.
Thank you for sharing that wisdom with me, brother.
And he will head on. All right, so we'll assume you guys will meet up again.
Sander.
Yes, absolutely.
There is Scott brought this up before, and he doesn't, and I think it would be very important in this adventure. He does not know exactly how he non-combat teleports, or how often, or range, and things like that. And I think you should discuss that, since I think he very easily will be doing that.
Okay. So what is that under, Scott?
what is one under?
The non-combat teleport stuff? Where is that at?
It's a high elf. It's an elf racial
doesn't-
ability.
It's an elf racial ability. It doesn't say anything about. There's no rules for using it outside of.
Right. No, and it's not actual teleportation. It's just that you move swiftly.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, it's actual teleportation. You appear in one.
No, but it's not actually teleportation. It's just it is teleportation in the combat, but it's actually like a blur of speed.
so well. Regardless of that, would he be able to use it if we're, let's say, for instance, sneaking around, slitting the throats of guards? So he's going to get up to them.
No. He essentially he would use his skill checks to get up to things.
Okay,
For
that's
for that case. And essentially, he might make an argument for wanting to expend a daily or something like that, or expend that maybe to say, oh, I want to use my blur of speed to now outside of combat to give myself a bonus.
That's once per combat, Scott.
Yeah, once
Once
per
per
battle.
battle.
Yeah.
Once per battle. So that's probably what I was thinking about. That how soon could he do it again
Yeah.
if he does it?
Well, what I would do
Whatever.
in that case is I would let you burn it outside of combat, and then as long as you weren't going to use it in the next combat, essentially you'd say you'd already used it up. And so you could use it for a bonus to something outside. Does that seem reasonable? Like a good way to do that?
Seems
Scott.
reasonable.
Okay. So, I will go ahead and cut forward to you guys entering into the sewers. Does that seem reasonable?
Just before we go in, Tomasa will dip the poultice into the sewer water, and we'll kind of mumbling a blessing, drip sewer water onto the foreheads of everyone in the party.
It
Oh,
stings, which is how you know it's working.
Sander, I don't know if I've practiced with my two-handed sword yet, but I want to know where it pops out when I summon it.
Where it pops out when you summon it, it will pop out in your hand.
Great.
Yeah. It doesn't it doesn't pop into the air and you have to grab it. It actually will pop into your hand.
I move the sigil to my butt cheek.
Okay. In that case, it comes out your butt. Oh God. That
Now
was
I have my
not
other
the
two hands for
sound-
free.
Not the sound I wanted to hear.
This plays into my whirlwind strike.
Oh no. Fair
By the
enough.
way, guys, I don't have that, so I'm not going to be trying to get bunches of people around me.
Or you are, but you're just not going to be as effective as you hope to be. So, what I'm going to do is we're going to.
Oh, Santa, there is one thing I did want to know.
Sure.
Generally speaking, what is the range of people in this thing? Maybe just guards or total population? I mean, is there 50 people? Is there 100 people? Is there 1,000 people?
Boy, Fabian tried to make an assessment of that earlier. He just wasn't sure.
Well, I mean, just from the size. I mean, there's no way there. I mean, is it possible that 1,000 people are in there?
No.
Okay.
Maybe a couple hundred. Maybe more. It's hard to say.
That's fine. I mean, that's
from the outside. It is a. Imagine these three great black balsa towers with the walls between them. They are an intimidating sort of black bastion over the city. You know that it was built generations ago by an empire that tried to claim the Unconquered Port, and when they left it behind, and it was taken over by the Templars, attacked perhaps 2 generations ago. Though what their ambitions and goals are is unclear. They leave the city itself alone, which is to the wishes of the Unconquered Port, and they're useful in that they do imprison people, and they offer for some people a hospital and a refuge. So, blessed and anointed, you guys will make your way down into the sewers, and Fabian, I'm going to have you make a wisdom roll, plus your sort of leading your pack here. You've already gone in animal form, so why don't you use your pack membership as your background there, and make a roll for leading the way through here till you get to kind of the stop where you guys have to swim. Does that seem reasonable?
Okay, I'll point out. Okay, everybody needs to pee here, and mark your territory, and then we move on. Okay.
Can you unzip my pants, Daddy?
Yes. Let me get my claws out.
I don't know where my book is. Are we going now?
So you will lead them into the sewers, all right, and you'll make your way through. These are many generations, different styles and things like that. There are probably some tight, narrow bits, some sections where the water and the effluvium come up to your waist, where it's thick, where you have to make your way through great buildups of things. And there are probably a couple places where you have to stop and clear the venting of the air. You're working with sort of. Does anybody have cast light as an effect or anything?
Nope.
So you're working essentially with low light vision and perhaps a dimmed storm lamp of some sort. Does that seem reasonable?
Yes, sir. Can I take advantage of like animal form to get like night vision?
Well, yes, but in pure darkness like this, it probably won't be that effective.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Right.
But you guys will make your way along, and eventually will hit a sort of a passage. This is part of what Fabian has sort of spotted, where you get closer to some of the cisterns, and you're actually going to have to kind of swim through. And who is going to go through with essentially? I guess it's going to be 2 people, one each of them bearing the rings, right?
Yes.
Okay. So which 2 of you are going through first?
I think it should be a stealth guy. Whoever owns the first ring, and then a stealth guy.
Right. I guess I'll go with. Well, sorry. I will volunteer to go. I don't want to speak for anybody else.
Who owns the ring?
Matt
I have
and,
one of them.
And Fabian.
Yes.
Okay. Well, so I think 2 stealth guys should go, and a stealth guy should stay up there. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is Merrick is going to go up and is going to take Rook,
Okay.
and then Merrick is going to come back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Scott, let me have you make a. Let's see. This is actually going to be. Let's do this a wisdom check for me.
What is this?
This is you kind of spotting and awareness and all of that kind of stuff.
Okay, so not the actual swimming or whatever.
Right.
Holding swimming.
Because these rings make it incredibly easy to swim.
Okay, so wisdom plus just spotting.
Yeah. What do you have that's good for that? Kind of sense danger or check for traps or anything like that?
Thief would probably be best for checking for traps if it's a trap based.
Okay.
Thing.
That's a reach, but I'll give it to you.
If I'm looking for traps, thief. If I'm just sort of awareness, I would probably go privateer because we probably swam around, and that would give me some sort of sense of what things look like underwater.
Sure. Well, let's do your pirate one for that. Make that roll. Okay.
Axwheel.
So not the greatest thing. It will take you a bit to kind of orient yourself underneath the water, but you guys will move. I mean, it's like walking, kind of pushing, jumping through the water, and you will make your way through a couple of passages, cistern, and eventually will come out. And why don't you guys roll me, Scott, roll me just a straight D20.
Oh, a straight D20. 1 D20. 14.
Okay. And you will come out in clearly an underwater sort of holding tank. It looks like you've come out in where some of the more fresh water may be stored, rather than essentially where all the cesspits and things are in one of these buildings, one of these towers. And I'm going to hand wave Merrick, you going back and bringing the others through.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, you go, take both rings back and move along, and you guys will make your way through here.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay. Never mind. Don't let me interrupt.
Okay.
I'll ask later.
So one of the things you'll definitely feel, Matt, as you're kind of coming through here, Tommaso, you do pass some of the stream that's coming off from certainly the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you make a hospitalar or clerical plus wisdom check here for me?
Okay. So that will again with level. Where are you, dice roller? Bear with me for a second. There we go.
Woohoo!
So you will feel a strong tingle from the
On
poultice.
fire.
Like it's reacting to something, and you'll definitely realize that mixed in and amongst here in the effluvium is something unholy and demonic. There is bad stuff in here, and that the poultice that was gifted to you is much stronger than you had expected. That it is like champion tier protection. That essentially renders you, immune to what would have actually been pretty terrible for you.
And that's all throughout? That's not coming from any specific area? That's the whole shebang?
It seems to be bleeding out from the tower.
Mm-hmm. For the tower that we were headed to?
Well, it's hard to tell from there, but you'll definitely know that there's something that is bleeding out demonic into these waters.
Mm-hmm.
It dissipates in the sewers because there are so many channels and things. But now that you're close to the source, you can sense the awfulness that's there.
Mm-hmm. When we get the chance, I'll warn everybody about this, that there's a greater darkness than we had suspected here, and that we should all be on guard.
Okay.
Wonderful.
So, you guys will come up into this cistern. There is the kind of echo, and you'll relight the lamp a little bit to give yourself a modest glow in here. And there is a rusted ladder leading up to a hatch up above. So at this point, I'm going to actually kind of ask for a kind of marching order for your proceedings at this point forward.
I would say we need stealth first. I'll be close to the front. You want stealth in the back? And Scott, or Rook, where do you want to be to have the best access to be able to hit from behind or something like that? Maybe.
Well, if we're out of the, are we out of the water? Or are we
Yes,
still?
you are. Well, you're out, but in terms of being able to get and change, you need to move out of the cistern.
Okay. I would probably be in front because I'm probably checking for traps.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So Rook,
And I will go with him.
followed by Merrick.
And that can be me.
Well, I should probably be in the middle, maybe, so I can...
Okay, well, I'll be at the... I mean, if you want, I'll be behind you. That's fine.
Black Dog at the back.
It makes sense for me to be able to heal in either direction in case an attack comes and we're stuck
There
in
shouldn't
marching
be
order.
anything... Well, okay. Okay, so for later on, but for right now, nothing's going to be behind us
Okay.
because they're going to have to come up through the sewers, but that's fine.
You hope. All right. So Scott,
Please don't let the demon poop attack.
why don't you make a thief
Trap
roll?
sense?
So let's do thief plus wisdom. And I'm going to apologize to you guys. I'm probably going to have Scott make more rolls than the rest of you, but this is sort of his element at this point, so
Fine.
I hope that's okay. I'll probably throw some bones to you guys in a bit, but we're playing to his strengths right now as the
Whatever
rogue.
makes sense.
1d20 plus.
Got to see if he leads us successfully into the trap.
Yes. I
Then
have a
he
special
can get
ability.
his payment.
I have a special ability that lets me avoid the results of the trap, but not my companions. So
Oh, that
While,
would be
while
awesome.
he makes that roll, oh, that is awesome. I will make
let's
that
see.
roll, or I'm sorry, while he makes that roll, I'll just say I morph into like a gorilla type form, something that I can
22.
easily climb with.
Okay. Well, what do you want to call? Which form is it? Do you want to call that? Which one?
Combat.
Okay. But,
Do you lose that, Fabian?
No.
No. But is that your?
I can choose any attack beast I want
Oh, okay.
to morph into.
All right. So he like a great silverbacked ape.
Yeah.
Okay. So once again, we get gorillas in the game. Scott, you will move up quietly, find your way into this second chamber. It looks like you must be in a lower level. You're uncertain which of the towers you're in, but you suspect you're not in the sort of the hospital cooking storage tower. You're probably either the jail or the sort of the headquarters tower, just judging what's around here. And you can move up and check the room, and you will find that there, at the sort of doorway there is a very simple trap, essentially basic knives and spikes kind of thing to keep people from coming through into here. And you can, with a 22, I will let you dismantle that pretty easily because it's very basic. Is that okay?
Okay.
And you get everybody up and get them changed.
Yep, we'll get to the dry clothes and get that ick off of us.
Okay.
Uh,
And Matt, why don't you make another hospital R roll, essentially to make sure that the purification goes okay here, that there's none of that on anybody.
All right. Let me where did that window go? Dice roller. All right, 21.
Oh, yeah. So you guys are good, and you have enough dose of this for the return journey as well. So, Scott, tell me.
straightforward.
Pardon?
Oh, I say we'll basically make our way through here cautiously, looking for more of these traps and try to get a sense whether. I mean, look, if we see, obviously we see small rooms with barred doors, and we know we're probably in the jail tower. Otherwise, we can assume the other one. But just as a general sense, make my way
Okay. So,
through as quietly as I can.
why don't you prioritize for me these three things: stealth, trap detection, information. How do you want to prioritize those?
You want to talk about it, Scott, or what?
I mean, what do you guys think?
Well, I think we need stealth first, because if we get found out, we're dead. Game over. The next thing would be we're in the... I mean, where are we?
You're not
I mean,
sure.
it's... Well, no, I mean...
You're in a
so
sub-basement of one of the towers.
Stealth, information, and then trap detection is last.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
All right. In which case... I'm going to say that your stealth is amazing. You prioritize that. I'm not going to have you make checks for the stealth right now. Does that seem reasonable?
Yep.
Okay. And you will kind of move out into the tower that you're at. Why don't you make a... this will be for you a wisdom check for perception. Plus thief, because you know dungeons and prisons and that kind of thing.
Oh, yes. Not that I've ever spent much time.
Well, Matt has, though, on this one.
16.
Yes. With the bonus for Tommaso having been through here before, you guys will be able to judge after a few minutes of moving along that you are definitively in the prison tower. Tommaso will see a couple of the pit cells that are down at the lower level where they put people in damp holding areas. You see the smallish room of torture, that kind of thing.
Fond memory.
And you'll kind of move along. And Tommaso, you will also be surprised. There are definitively fewer people. A, you're not seeing prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
And B, you haven't actually seen that much in the way of guardsmen.
And this is unusual.
Yes. You would expect it to be more staffed than it is.
So prisoners may be being sacrificed to whatever thingy is here.
Any kind of sense that prisoners have been here any time recently?
I'll let you make another intelligence, another wisdom check for me here. Actually, intelligence for assessing the evidence.
So intelligence analysis, that would be more of a spy thing.
That seems reasonable to me.
15.
Oof. At least down in these places, not for a while.
But no, like, bodies?
No, there are no bodies left.
No bodies left.
Okay.
Still,
This is not
still
right.
Blood, still any blood on the, any fresh blood on any of the torture implements? or-
I certainly would have mentioned that as a sign you could have picked up that there have been recent activity, so no. Now, Scott, I need you to make a Wisdom plus Thief roll for your trap detection.
Wisdom plus thief.
You're going to have to make that roll twice.
Okay, there was one, a 20.
Okay, so you will, there as you kind of move up into this next level, there is a bit where you find one of these sort of deadfall traps that would have dropped you guys into a pit, would have locked down a section with some heavy stone walls that would have dropped, and you'll carefully move the group past those so that those don't trip off and make the
Sarah,
second.
does it make sense that there are? I mean, is this like
it's a prison? That would have been a way to contain things.
okay?
Yeah, it's set up so that if they can lock it so that if prisoners escaped and made their way down here, it would contain them there. Yep.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Scott, the next one.
Another one?
Another one. Oh.
Woohoo!
So the next one is one of those ones where you guys are moving up carefully up through a set of stairs here, and you will stop. Not because you have any great skill with magic, but you recognize the signs and sigils that are used for a sort of a classic magical trap. Essentially a standard ward that's put up, activated, and essentially left passively. It can be taken up or taken down, a simple code word to take it down. And you'll look at it and kind of judge the flare marks on the wall to judge that it's essentially a ward of fire. And it will require a sort of physical check for you guys to climb past it. Or it looks like your other option is to go out, sort of out of the building and come around the long way. So you can either make a kind of a physical check to move past it here, or go out of your way and risk being spotted.
How difficult is? I mean, how difficult does it look like?
To you, what's your strength bonus?
3 strength, 6 altogether.
Oh yeah, you think this is easy. Difficulty would be a 15 strength check.
Okay. Is there any way any way we can
find-
help somebody, or I could assist people doing it?
No, not really, because they gotta kind of clamber and move past it. It'd be a little difficult to help. I would hand wave Fabian on this because Fabian can easily turn himself into a smaller form so that he can move past. The gorilla would be too big to kind of clamber past, but he could shift himself into a smaller form. Does that seem reasonable, Fabe?
Yes, sir.
What do you what do you three think?
Well, could I use take the long range and use my much better stealth skill to avoid being sort of spotted?
You could, but then you'd have to separate out and meet up with the rest of the group.
Oh wait, that sounds like splitting up.
Wouldn't this be more up your alley as a roguish type?
Yeah, I'm thinking that if splitting up is
Yeah,
fine
if it's
in this
like climbing,
instance.
if it's like climbing.
Yeah, it's climbing.
Okay, so I could probably do
So
that.
it's a
One.
D20.
Tommaso, what do you want to do?
You might be muted.
Oh, sorry. No, I was dealing with a crash of all my applications.
Oh,
So what are we deciding? I'm sorry, I was not present.
We're trying to get past a trap. The trap itself is like basically a 15 strength check to go right through it, or you can go around it, but you have to go outside, possibly going to be seen. So
Okay. I would probably take the strength check.
okay. So everybody, except for Fabian.
But don't you have a strength spell, Matt?
I do have. Well, I have a ritual of strength. But that doesn't. I don't think that does anything for me here. That's the one that gives us the sweet extra damage.
Yes.
You might want to save that.
Yeah,
Doesn't
we're not.
actually
Yeah,
add-
I'm not getting rid of that.
No, you could use that. Yeah, that'd be great. So it's once per battle. Once per
No problem.
Not per day.
day. Oh yeah.
Definitely,
You
I'll
can
definitely let
feather.
you use it. You'll automatically pass. Everybody will get through.
All right, so strength check is
Plus
3.
whatever you think would be appropriate for your knowledge of climbing. Let's start with Scott.
All right, I'm second story man. This is no problem. I can do this.
All right. Ooh,
Woohoo!
just edge it out. Kind of make your way through. Carl.
+6. I got 3 for orc pirate climbing rigging
Oh
stuff like
yeah,
that.
that's perfect. You'll easily make this.
Woohoo!
There you go. Kind of just make it. And then Matt.
All right. Oh.
Oh,
So
so close.
the last one is to go through. You guys will, and imagine this is kind of going up a stairwell, kind of coming up as you do that, kind of climbing up on the bricks to move past the ward. And it is that thing. You guys will get past it, and Tommaso's coming up the last. And just as he's coming through, he'll slip, and his foot will catch just on the edge of this ward, and you will hear this kind of flash. And Matt, you're going to take 15 points of damage.
All right.
Essentially, you'll hear that, and he will probably hit the other side there.
So, that's a pretty big hit.
Yes, it was. Do you want to spend a recovery to? Take care
No,
of that now?
okay for now.
Okay.
I think.
All right. Fair enough. You guys will move on upwards. Scott, you guys are still stealthing. You will see on sort of the ground level, it doesn't seem like that it was a magical flame, so it didn't have a great sort of sound component to it. And since you prioritize stealth, it doesn't carry out. You'll move fast. You can see outside there are some guards people. It doesn't look like there's that many inside, if any. And you will move up into another level, clearly older. Looks like there might be some, how do I put this? Older cells in a big open area that leads up to some stairs to another section. I'm going to need you to make a wisdom plus spy roll here.
Ooh, Scott or
Scott.
21.
You will definitely have the sense that there's something odd here, and you will be able to kind of move you guys past what appears to be an alarm kind of trap here.
What's it?
Like maybe up ahead there's some movement kind of thing that you're a little weirded out by, because it's not sounding like sort of natural movement.
That's not happy. Not natural movement.
I will be when I moved past the thing. I probably assumed a cat form, so I'm probably in a cat form,
Sure, fair enough.
just for reference.
We'll
How do you
Try to
want to
make out-
proceed? Careful?
yes.
Okay.
But we have started to see some guards.
Down the floor below and outside, you would have seen a couple of guards.
Are these guards
You've now moved up past them.
okay? From what I recall, I mean, did they appear to be living, breathing,
Yeah,
human?
and they were certainly outside, not inside this tower.
Okay,
And
Do I
Scott?
Do I smell? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
go ahead.
I had a question.
Well, everything here smells bad, Fabian. It's a prison, a
Gotcha.
festering, horrible thing. And while you had that scent, right now it's sort of overwhelmed by stuff. So Scott, you will see something move. I assume you kind of dim the lights. There are some torches
Yep.
around in here. You will see something moving up ahead. and I'm about to change where you're at. Does that seem reasonable?
Okay. What are the questions about the guards? They seem to be more concerned with guarding people coming into the towers or things coming out of the towers.
All you saw that they were outside the tower.
Okay.
However, you come up on this corner and you will see down one sort of way. Can you see the map now, Scott?
Yes, I can.
Can you see what's on the map?
Lemure.
I see a lemure.
Do you see two
He's-
lemures?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Okay. You will see these rotund, great, pustulant demon things wandering along. Now, these are kind of hallways. Essentially, in between are these sort of rooms that would have been kind of cells. Some of them are cracked open and stuff in here. So you can kind of see that on the map. So I'm actually going to go to initiative. All right. Does that seem okay?
Seems reasonable to me. I mean, they haven't seen us yet, so we get like 3 or 4 surprise actions.
You'll probably get a surprise round depending on how you want to do this. So go ahead and put in your initiative, you guys.
Remember, if you're human, you can roll twice.
Thank you for reminding me of that, which I forget every game.
I forgot that.
Oh, right. Look at that. That's rocking. Hey, guys, I'm looking over this way. I'll guard the back. Probably safe over that way.
I feel like humans get the best racial abilities in this game,
Wow.
which is
I don't
odd.
think, I don't think.
No,
to me, initiative.
the
I don't
wood
think
elves
is that
are
big.
really powerful.
Oh yeah, the wood elves are insane.
What is that?
That's where they get to potentially get extra actions.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. What was your total there, Carl? Was 7?
Yeah, big 7.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Sure.
If only I didn't have a bias against the stinky wood elves.
Yeah, I figured, Scott, you'd overcome that in favor of the goo. All right. So, Rook, what do you want to do? You've seen these things?
That would be
Now,
fun.
I wanted to tell you this room, Scott, is probably about 30, 40 feet tall. So these sort of rooms actually have a roof on them. So, like here, that's probably 10 feet up to the top of that thing. Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Well, I'm going to do my fade into the shadows. I'm going to do my shadow walk. I will point out the demons to the people behind me.
That's a
and then
good call. Okay.
Then I will walk in the shadows.
So Scott will vanish. Okay. You don't need to make a roll for that, do you? I forget.
I do. I have to roll against their
Magic defense?
magic defense. Yes.
Okay, need to hit a 17.
Let's see. Yes.
Merrick, you're going to be going next.
3. Charisma. So level plus charisma. 3. Charisma bonus.
Yep, just straight charisma bonus.
Woohoo!
Oh, yeah, you're fine. Whew, vanish up into it. Okay, Merrick on 21. You will see Rook gives you the high sign, gives you the signals. He'll identify where the 2 lemurs that he's seen are, and vanishes into the shadows. What do you want to do, Merrick?
Do I interpret his signals to be we should lay an ambush, or
You've certainly seen him vanish into the shadows and then come up and sneak attack things.
right? Well, okay. What I will do, I will take his lead then, and I will try and stealthily lay an ambush right about here, so that when something spots our group, I can respond and leap down at them.
Okay, so let's have you make a dexterity. plus what's your appropriate stealth?
Um, this would definitely, I feel, fall under wolf because I'm laying the ambush, trying to cunningly surround the prey and attack from all sides
Okay.
at
I
once.
am going to give you a penalty because of the physical moves. She's got to leap up on top of the short roof there, but that seems reasonable. Go ahead and make that roll.
Um, that's fine. Can I negate that penalty because I'm in cat form?
Okay, that seems reasonable.
Okay.
Okay.
21.
So, going to move up here is what you're saying, like there?
Yes.
All right. The Lemure. Tommaso. These things
Right,
haven't spotted you. They're just kind of rolling along.
All right, so they haven't spotted us, and
Oh, oh yeah, actually.
everyone that has preceded me is going into stealth mode. Um,
Merrick, from your vantage point, you'll see another
I
one.
am going to defer my action and hang back here for now.
Okay, Black Dog.
I am going to ready my javelin. Oh, he's coming.
Yeah, they're moving this way.
Okay.
They haven't
Rook's still
spotted
in.
you, but they're moving along. Rook's not in
Okay.
front
Then,
of you. Rook is actually in the shadows.
okay. Then I will move past Tommaso and ready my javelin and still try and hide a little bit.
Okay. Rook.
Oh, Sandra. By the way, since that was the first round of combat, would that negate my armor class thing, or how's
No,
that work?
we haven't had combat yet. That
Okay.
was preparation. Nobody went into combat, so I'm not putting the escalation die up.
That's fine. Oh, okay. We wait 6 more rounds.
No one's attacked yet. So I guess I'll.
And that was the point at which the call went dead. I don't know if that records during that part. Hey, and we're back.
Okay.
I will start.
I'll be back here to check something.
Okay, Scott, we'll start with you.
I will leap out of the shadows and stab the Slimmer in the back with my magic demon slaying sword.
Okay, you don't have one of those, but why don't you go ahead and make your attack
It's magic.
roll? You need to hit a 17, sir.
It is magic. Yes, sir. It feels holy in my hand. Let's see, what's my base attack here? It's 2 for the sword. Ah! What's the critical on? It's only 20 in this game, isn't it?
That's right. So sad.
Unless I had an extra critical thing, which
Which I don't think you do.
no, unfortunately.
Ben does, but he's not here.
Back.
So, what are you? So, roll your damage, Scott.
Let's see. Damage
Is
roll 3d8 plus. I got this. This one is 6. 1d6 plus 6. Right?
so
7 and 8, 6, yes. 21 doubled is 42.
42. You will actually come down and realize as you're doing that, Scott, that it is actually not one lemure, but a batch of them. 3 of them. And you will roll through and you will drive your dagger smashing through all 3 of them and cut all 3 of them down.
Oh,
Because
whoops.
essentially it was hard to tell because it was just a big lump of sort of protoplasm and filth, and you realize there are 3 heads as you cut essentially all 3 heads down. Merrick.
I pounce on the lemure that has conveniently walked up right underneath me.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll. You need to hit a 17, sir.
Okay, so that's a D20 plus my appropriate weapon skill,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And that's just it, right?
That's it.
And I get a second attack because that one missed.
That's right.
That's just broken.
So you
22.
will hit. Okay, and what's the damage die with that odd roll?
An odd roll is D6s.
Okay,
so
roll that damage.
D3, D6 plus 7.
All right, so
16.
you will cut this lemure down. It will let out a cry as it is dropped there. The lemure.
I guess that would put me here, right?
Yes,
Because I dropped down on him.
that's right. And in fact, this is still surprise round. So you know what? I'm not going to let the lemure move. Except to put where the rest of them are. How does that sound? So you guys will know where they're actually at. Does that seem like a reasonable
Now,
thing?
can we see those guys? Can we see those?
We'll say that you guys can see these ones. Rook can tell you where these ones are over here. And Fabian
Yeah.
can see that there's a bunch up over here.
And I was at a different height, so maybe
Yeah.
that let me see
Essentially,
some.
they come rolling out of those doorways there. And
Oh my god, that's nice.
okay, that's all of them.
That we can see.
Tommaso.
Oh, we'll take it off mute. How far can I move?
You
Does
could
it-
move to engage if you wanted to.
Do they know we're there yet?
This is still surprise round.
All right, let me.
Well, I mean, if we didn't do anything else and move back, would they know we were
Oh
there?
God, yeah. But this
Okay,
is essentially the round where you guys get your sort of free swacks before they can react.
Okay.
I'll run up and take a swing at this dude.
Okay, need to hit.
This
Kind of run
ignorant
past
jabroni.
him. Need to hit a 17 to hit him.
All right, so
You
that
just call
is-
him an ignorant jabroni?
Yeah. Why? Where's my character
Pretty
sheet
sure he's a
now?
husky.
Oh,
You
here.
may be friends with these guys, I would have thought.
So,
All right. So you
how
rolled
do my
a,
roll go?
so you rolled a 17.
Yep.
Okay, and you do 7 points of damage. So you will swack into this thing. What are you rolling? D8s?
I just used the attack button on the character sheet.
Okay.
So, it should be I believe. Let me check. It should be 3d8 plus 3. Yeah.
Okay. So
Cool.
you
I
rolled a.
never even noticed that.
So you
You
rolled.
rolled
Happens when
really
press-
crappy.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Looks like
I
it
never
does
tried
it.
that
Okay. It just you rolled terrible on that. So essentially, you
Yeah.
just catch this thing on that shot there. Black dog.
Can I run past Tommaso? Is that possible?
I would say that you could move past Rook, but probably not past Tommaso, given that you've
Okay.
got Merrick and Tommaso there, without an athletics check, essentially to kind of leap up, kind of bounce off the walls.
Athletics is what, Dex?
So let's say dexterity plus what's a good one for your sort of acrobatics?
That'd be, again, a pirate.
Okay. You want to take that roll and risk it?
Well, how difficult does it look?
Let's see. Narrow hall,
you don't-
stairway there, kind of trying to get around him. Let's say an 18 or better.
18 or better, and I get a +9.
Yeah. Better than 50-50.
Can I end up in? Do I think I can end up in the middle of these guys?
You'll at least be able to engage a couple of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see you roll it.
D20
got that
plus.
risk-reward
Oh wait,
cycle.
wait. Let's see. It's Dex is mod plus level, so it's
Yep.
6. Yeah.
There you go. You can
6
make it.
plus.
Not a
plus.
chance that you'll fuck this up.
Oh, definitely could screw it up. 20. Woo.
Okay, so I will move you up, like here.
As much as I can.
Okay.
I'm yelling, or kind of, well,
Yelling, screaming, shouting. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
with nothing in my hand.
Awesome. And you will land there, and your attack.
And my attack is pull out the big nasty sword and whack one of these guys. I'll hit the one next to I'll hit one of these other ones. Call it this one here.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Murderers.
Go ahead and make that attack roll. You need to hit a 17, Carl.
Okay, so it's basic attack is +6 and +1 for the sword.
Okay. So you will miss.
I'd
Leap
be
up and-
mad at another if I had a. I'd be really mad some other time, but I'm not as mad now.
Fair enough. So you will get up there and take that swing and miss. Rook on 26. The Lemur now seem active and agitated.
Time for Rook to get out of get out of dodge again. So we're gonna do the attack versus MD to fade into the shadows once more.
Need to hit a 17.
So level plus
So that will not go off, sir.
That will not go off, but I do have the feat that lets me not. That doesn't blow my. That doesn't blow my move.
That's nice.
That's the. So. Shoot, I guess I'll.
Engage?
Yeah, I don't want to engage.
There
I
we
guess I'll
go.
engage these two.
Need to hit an AC
This
17.
is my. Let's see. I do this. This is 17, you say. Okay. There's still no escalation dice up there, is there?
Oh, I guess you're right. I guess we can add the escalation die.
That would be. Oh. Okay. So I guess I'll just do this.
You miss. So you'll do 3 points of miss damage.
That doesn't take into account the escalation dice.
No, it does not.
So, but a 15 still won't
Still won't hit.
hit. So I will do 3 damage.
3 points of missed damage. All right, fair enough. All right, Merrick on 21.
Am I going to have a problem getting past Tommaso?
So you are in what form?
Cat.
Cat form. So I'm going to say I'm going to have you make a dexterity check. Essentially, let's say a 15 to move past him.
Okay. All right. Roll d20 plus dex.
Plus your level bonus.
And plus level.
Yep. Oh yeah, you're fine. Where do you want to
Okay.
move into? Essentially, just past him to engage.
Right. I'm just trying to shield him, if nothing else.
Okay.
And I will attack this one.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll. Need a
Adding the
17.
escalation die.
Adding your escalation die.
17.
Ah, so you hit just using, just barely using the escalation die, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you do that, you will see one of the lemurs actually apparently squirmed up and drops behind Tommaso. That's a special effect. When you hit them using the escalation die, they get to have people move around randomly.
I like it.
So, Fabian, roll your damage.
Okay. D20. Plus, no, not a D20.
You always say that.
3d6. I know. Sorry. Plus 7.
Oh, I would actually hit. Damn it.
21?
21.
So 31 means that we go to that. So Fabian, your shot will rip across this guy and kill him, and kill essentially the other guy was packed in close by him, and you will kill 2 of them.
So swipe one with one paw, one with the other.
Yep. And
So,
so
cut
just
off
so
one head and 2 heads die.
Yeah.
I like that.
essentially, because these guys are mooks, for every X amount of damage you do, you kill one of them. Their turn. All right, so let's see. I've got 2 shots on you, Tommaso. What is your AC? Whoops. You might be muted.
I am in fact muted, and you can blame Sid Meier's Beyond Earth,
Oh,
which I
fair
closed earlier, but sucked up. Like I must have a memory leak or something.
Oh yeah, no, it's
because
still,
Roll20 keeps crashing my computer now. Or not my computer, but the app, like the browser.
yeah.
All right. So anyway, we want my AC.
Yes.
AC is just got back in Roll20. 18.
All right, so you're going to take 6 points of damage from the first guy, and 6 points of damage from the second guy, so 12 total.
Oh, that's not good. All right, I am going to then come next, right?
Well, I've got to kill. I got to kill the rest of your friends here first.
Okay, well, yeah, let's do that.
Let's not do that.
Actually, I should probably put out the things that come through the doors here and noise. Okay. So let's do 2 shots. Carl, what is your AC?
It is 2-handed weapon, so it's a 16.
Need hit.
But no, 20. It's a 19, so 23 with the plus 4.
23, because this is the second round.
Oh, this is the second round.
Yep.
Then no, then it's 19.
Okay. So first guy will hit you. You're going to take 6 points. Second guy will not hit you. Merrick, what is your AC?